Yeah.
Okay, today I have got the biggest treat for all of you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so all of you know who spent any longer than 2 seconds with me, I always give you the homework of reading Who Not How. Like, that is a really important book to read. It changed the course of my businesses, my nonprofits, all of that. So again, this is a who knows a whole lot of how about networking. And literally, like, I have to share with you the very first time that Josh and I met, um, who connected us?
I
Some
reached out on LinkedIn.
Okay, so here we go. So got reached out on LinkedIn, and he has this call with me. It literally was a call that stopped me in my tracks, which is very rare. I can count on one hand how many times that's happened. It was so extraordinary because he literally asked some of the most profound questions that I had ever been asked. And I was so deeply moved. I was like, oh my goodness, who are you? And more people need to know about you. So here's what's really cool. You all are going to learn about this incredible man. This is Josh Lyons. And I've never, ever, ever met somebody who networks. Like, I'm a super connector, but the intentionality, Josh, that you bring to the table with the networking is like none other. And it turns out you actually have a course on this, which is really exciting. But you're going to deliver so much value today to everybody. So, seriously, you guys, stop what you're doing. You're not going to want to multitask. You're going to write as many notes as you can because Josh is going to deliver. So, without further ado, Josh, you're amazing, and thank you for being here. This is
Well,
awesome.
equally amazing, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And just to take a second, what we talked about on LinkedIn is for me and you to do something that neither of us had ever done when we first met, and that was to have a first time meeting that is nothing other than exchanging networking nuggets of wisdom. And that was a blast. I had a blast. And so it was just so fun to do that. And so then for you to invite me to come on today and just share nuggets of networking wisdom, I mean, how can I say no to that? So thank you so much for the perfect opportunity.
So, really quick, I want you to share people a bit about your success with networking, like why they should listen with you, and it's about the 44 number.
Yeah, okay. It's about the 44 number. And I'll talk about the 44 number briefly. There's so much I want to share. But I also want to say something. There is a fundamental truth that people don't realize. And I just want to share that. What a lot of people believe is that networking, or better yet, word of mouth, growing a business through word of mouth is based off of luck and circumstance. It's not. It's not based off of luck. It's not based off of circumstance. They just don't know how to do it. But the reality is that growing a business through word of mouth is a skill, and skills can be learned. And so, what you're referring to, the 44 number, was in the last 12 months, less than 12 months actually, I've helped others generate over $44 million in revenue. Now, how did I do it? It's really simple. It's the things that I'm sharing with you today. Now, to your point, I have like an 8 hour course, and obviously we don't have 8 hours. But what I'm sharing today, even if our audience members pick up on some of these and apply them, these are the things that contributed to helping others make $44 million in revenue and helping myself see 170x increase in my own revenue. And when I say 170x, I mean a 16,947% increase. So it's the same things, just not all of them, that I'll be sharing with you today.
Incredible. Sorry, I'm trying to get us up on Facebook Live.
You're good.
This is what happens when you have somebody who's non-techie doing tech stuff. Not good. Okay, sorry. But
Oh,
networking we can do. Okay, there you go.
yes,
There you go.
absolutely.
Keep going.
All right. You just want me to start giving you bunches of
Yep.
nuggets? Does that work?
Dive in.
Cool. So we talked about on this slide, actually, you've got it divided into three sections. And we talk about frameworks in this slide deck. And when it comes to a framework, I can actually boil everything down into really there's four pieces of the framework, but the fourth one I'm not going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about three because these are the most critical. The fourth one will happen by accident. So the first three, it's this. First if you're going to do networking effectively, one thing that so many people fail to do is prepare.
Mm,
Networkers often don't prepare. They don't know how to prepare because they've never been taught how to prepare. So that's
right.
one of them. The second thing is to meet. You have to meet people. You have to meet the right people. How do you do that? And so that's the second part. And then the third part is connect. Once you've prepared and you've met the right people, then you can actually have authentic relational connections. But how do you do that? And then the fourth one, just you know what it is, it's impact. When you're
Mm,
really good, when you prepare, and then when you meet the right people, and then you connect with the right people, then what
right.
will happen is you will make an incredible impact that turns into 44 million in revenue for others and 170x increased revenue for yourself. So that's the high level across the board, what we're talking about. And so I broke them down. I was thinking if I were going to take about 20 minutes and share as much as I can, what are the lowest hanging, easiestly implementable things that I could share? So
Yeah.
going through in that same order, we got goal, we got prepare, we've got meet, and we've got connect. So when it comes to preparing, here are some things that people often don't do or they don't think about. So if you are going to go out and network, you're going to go to after hours, you're going to go to a referral networking group, you're going to go to something else, and you actually want to leave the meeting saying, wow, that was so worth my time, rather than saying, was that worth my time? You don't want to ask. It shouldn't be a question mark on the end. Was that worth my time? Or when will it be worth my
Right.
time? You want to say that was absolutely worth my time. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. So how do you do that? You need to have a goal. The goal is not to show up. People say show up. No, yeah, show up, but that's not the goal. The goal is, and you can have whatever goal makes sense for you. I'm going to tell you what my goal was for a long time. My goal was if I go to a networking event, I must leave with at least 2 meetings on my calendar. Not two
That's
meetings
powerful.
of we will schedule a time to chat. No, 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 no. You don't schedule a time to chat. You don't talk about it. You do it. So go to a networking event, schedule 2 meetings to happen between now and whenever, and put it on the books. Do that, and you will always leave knowing that you achieved a goal. And on that point, how long do you have to stay at a networking event? You got to stay there for 2 hours, an hour? No, you don't. Stay there until you achieve your goal. If you book 2 meetings in 15 minutes, you're free to go with confidence, knowing that you got what it is that you're trying to get out of that time that you invested. Now, maybe your goal is not to schedule 2 meetings. Maybe it's to connect with other individuals who are doing networking as well and spending time with those people. Well, if that's the case, you're probably not going to be gone in 10, 15 minutes because it's focused on spending time retouching, reconnecting with contacts. And so that's absolutely fine. But pick the goal for you. Mine for a long time was 2 booked meetings with individuals at that networking events, and really first time meetings, not people I already knew, new people. So that's one thing. Go with a goal. And next time you go to a networking event, you leave your house, do not arrive there until you know what success looks like. What is your measurable goal? All right, next.
So do you write it down?
Now it's easy to remember. Two
Okay.
meetings, piece of cake. Maybe it's
Cool.
3 meetings. Maybe it's 1 meeting. Maybe it's whatever it is. But I don't write it down. It's so easy. And it's a
Okay.
standardized goal. Yeah.
Love
So
it.
the next thing is you're going to go out there and you're going to have a commercial. Chances are in some networking events, you'll stand up for 60 seconds, give or take. All right. What in the world are you going to say? Wouldn't it be nice if you could have a framework that you could use?
Mm.
So you could always say something that's engaging. All right. I'm going to give you a framework. So here's the framework. And there's a
Write
do and
this
not.
down, everyone.
Yep. So when you stand up, something that networkers do, but they should not do, is they say, hi, my name is so-and-so with such and such. If you do that, you're going to throw away about 5 to 10% of your talking time because you're going to say that same thing at the very end. So what's the point in saying it in the beginning? In the beginning, if they don't know who you are, then they don't care what your name is or your company is. So why are you going to waste them by losing their attention by saying your name and your company name? And if they do know who you are already, then why in the world do you have to say who you are? That's blowing precious seconds. So don't do it. So do not stand. But also, when you stand up and the first thing you say, it's not your name, it's not your company. The first thing you need to say is something that's incredibly engaging. Now, unless you're, I don't know, Tom Cruise or someone like that, and you got their face as well, and you stand up, if you're like that, like a well-known celebrity, then yeah, absolutely, say your name. But unless unless that's you, say something that's going to pull them in. So I said a framework. Here's the framework. There's 4 steps, and they all start with the letter P. So first, pull, Pull, pull. Second, problem. Third, passion. Fourth, pass off. So here's what you do. You stand up and you say, did you know that? And give them some fact or statistic that is a jaw-dropping fact or statistic. Or you might say, raise your hand if you, and you're going to say something and they're going to raise their hands in response to some of them. Both of those are what I call pull statements. You're saying something that's going to pull them in. That's what you want to do. Pull them in. Say something that pulls in their attention. That immediately makes you have an engaging commercial from the start, which most networkers do not do. So you pull them in, and it only takes a few seconds. You say something, it pulls them in. If you can get them to raise their hands, that's fantastic. Then what you do is you state the problem. Okay, did you know that 6 out of 10 business owners are not making a profit? 6 out of 10 aren't making a profit. That's horrible. And so that's an example of a pull statement. The problem, the fact, because they're not making a profit, you know what that means for them? It means they're struggling to pay their bills. They're struggling to stay alive. They're struggling to provide for those they love, for those they care about. They have a dream to impact the world and make a positive difference, but they can't even make a profit. Will they be able to achieve their dream, to fulfill it? Or will they end up reaching the end literally depressed, like 36% of business owners? This is a problem. So whatever it is, you frame it how you say whatever you want to say, but what is the problem that is related to that pull? So you pull them in with a statistic or something, then you state a problem that relates to that statistic and also to what you do for a living. It's got to be relevant to you. But then what you do is you state the passion. So this is the statistic, this is the problem, and I got to tell you what, it frustrates me to see entrepreneurs, good people, struggling. They should not have to struggle. And that's exactly what I'm passionate about doing, is helping them not struggle. So right there, just tie in that your passion. Show your passion however you want. You can say that was you. You can say it impacted you in some way, whatever it is. You don't have a lot of time, but connect the fact that whatever the person that has that problem is going through, connect the fact that you are massively passionate about solving that problem. Okay, so that's the third part. So pull them in, state the problem, express your passion for helping those who are struggling with that problem, and then pass off. Don't say, well, actually, hang on a second. When you do this, don't say, do you know, don't say, do you need this? Are you struggling with this? Do you need this? No, you do not sell to the people in the room. There's, I don't know, just say there's 100 people in the room. Every person in the room knows about 150 people. So say, who do you know who has this problem? Or say, not if you come across someone with this problem, but rather say, when you come across, it will happen. The question is not if, it's when. So what you'll do is for the pass off, you've stated the poll, you've stated the problem, you've stated the passion, and then you say, when you come across someone who is in this situation, simply make a 3-way text introduction, or make an email introduction, or whatever it is, however you want to be connected. Send them to my website, have them fill out a form, whatever it is. And then let them know, if you don't have my number or my website link or whatever it is, connect with me after the meeting, and I'd be happy to get that to you. So give them a way to pass you off to somebody else. Tell them how to do that, and don't take precious time giving them your phone number 2 times. My phone number is 408-568 da 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 da. And again, my phone number is 408. No, you don't have time to do that. Just tell them to connect with you afterwards. They will find you. And then you close it with, and I am whatever your name is. And what happens is when you do it that way, you actually tease them. You're a tease. The whole time you're a tease because you instantly grasped their attention. Now they're hanging on every word you say. And then they're thinking, who is this person? Who is this person? Who is this person? And here's the thing. Don't give someone your name unless you've earned it. Now, when you get to the end of your commercial, you should have earned it. And by that point, they want to know your name. So that's the framework. And you can swap out the attention getting pull statement as much as you want. You can swap out problems. There are different kinds of problems. You can swap that out as much as you want. You can even change up the passion and why you're passionate about it. And the pass off, that tends to stay the same. So those are some points when it comes to commercials. If you go to a networking event and you know what your goal is, and you have a framework for giving a commercial, that's going to massively help. Now, there's something else. Business cards. All right, there are lots of people who have lots of opinions about business cards. I've had thousands and thousands of networking meetings, and I can tell you, in my experience, what I find to be most effective is when it comes to business cards, if I want someone to have my information, I'm going to text them. And then I'll send them my contact info the way I want them to have it. I'm not going to give them a business card. There are three main reasons, in my opinion, for having a business card. The first reason for having a business card is for the raffle. There is often a raffle. And why in the world would you not put your name into the raffle for a drawing? Because if they call you up, not only do you get free branding and exposure, hooray, hooray, it didn't cost a thing other than a business card, you also get a goodie that you can either use or repurpose. So bring a business card for the raffle. Secondly, bring business cards for the people who are transactional and hustling. They come to you and they're like, hey, give me your info. Here you go. Have my business card. No problem. There you go. You can have things go away because I'm not looking for a transaction. I'm looking for a relationship. And most of the people who are throwing out business cards all over the place, they're not focused on relationships. They don't know how to do it because they haven't been trained on how to do that. But so that's I'll give business cards to them. But if I really want to meet with someone, I actually send them a text message. And then the third thing with a business card is this: have a QR code on it. Now, what's going to happen is those who are very just, out there and they're really salesy, they're going to see that QR code and they're instantly going to think, oh, I got their contact info. Perfect. Like Blink or Popple or Dot or some other technology for capturing contact info. I tell you what, on my business card, I have a QR code. It does not give you my contact info. It doesn't give it to you. What it does is it leads to wherever I want it to point to. So put a QR code on your business card. Do not put your personal information on your business card unless you want to. I don't. And then when you give it out, you give it to those who are trying to sell at you, but you also give it to people who legitimately want to know what is the next step in doing something with you because they really like you and they care about your vision. They want to move forward and they don't necessarily even know what that means. But if you're going to be at an event and you're there for a reason, if you're going to be there for a reason and you want to be able to send someone somewhere, you got a QR code. So you can reprogram that QR code as often as you want, sending people to wherever you want them to go. So those are 3 different points on business cards. And name tags, there's a related thing. On my name tag, I have a QR code and it goes wherever I want to go. So if you want to have a QR code on your name tag wherever you go, you don't even need business cards technically. So consider putting a QR code on your name tag that you can reprogram. And then also, here's something that experienced networkers will recognize. If you're at a networking event, you want to come across as you know what you're doing. Like you've been around, you're competent in networking. And if you wear your name tag on the right side of your chest, that's where professional networkers wear their name tag. Most novice networkers wear their name tag on the left side because most people are right-handed and naturally just put on the left side. So when you see someone who wears a name tag on the right side, on their right, then just assume they probably have been around a little while. They're probably pretty well connected, and it might make sense for you to connect with them because they can probably connect you to some really great people. Those who wear the name tags on the left side, it's it's less likely, statistically speaking, that they're as well connected. So just consider that it's not a huge thing, but every little thing helps, and that's a very easy thing for me to share real quick this call. So those are a few of the things that I wanted to share with you as it relates to preparing. Now I'm going to shift us over into meet. We're going to meet people. So when it comes to meeting, you've got your goal, you know what you're going to say for your 60-second commercial, you've got your QR code on your business card, on your name tag, you're ready to go. Now, meeting. How in the world do you meet people? I'm going to give you 3 different ways to meet people. It's a piece of cake. All right, first, you see someone who's by themselves, you walk up to them, you put out your hand, and you say, "Hi, I don't think we've met yet. My name's," whatever your name is. They will naturally put their hand out, they'll shake your hand, and they'll say their name. And then the rest of the conversation is piece of cake. It just naturally flows from there. So if you want to know how to meet people, that's one way to do it. Another thing is once you're talking to someone, and if you're trying to disengage, sometimes you're talking to someone and they will just not stop talking. you want them to stop. How do you get them to stop? What you do is you say, "Man, it has been so fantastic, having this conversation, and I'm wondering who else is here that I should meet." Ask them, who should they meet? You're doing them the favor of getting to let them connect you to someone. So ask them that question and let them make introductions for you. They will introduce you to someone, then you can very easily shift your focus from that person, the talker, over to whoever the new person is. So that's a great way, and I call it link chaining. So you just go from one person to the next, to the next, to the next until you've got your however many meetings scheduled or until you're done. And so that's the second way. So first, put your hand out. Second, do the link chaining tactic where you ask who you should meet and let them introduce you. And the third thing, if I'm tired or if I just don't feel like trying to meet somebody, but I still want to meet someone, what I will do is I will grab a drink. I will sit down at a table. I will keep my phone in my pocket and I will people watch. If you're at a networking event and you don't want to initiate the conversation, let someone else initiate it. It is so easy to do. It will not take long as long as you're not looking on your phone. Don't look at your phone. Put your phone away. Just people watch. And it will not be long before someone comes up and says, "Hey, mind if I sit down?" And they initiate the conversation. So that's the third way to do it. All right, that's how you can meet people. Now, here's something definitely do. And I mentioned this earlier, but don't talk about getting together with somebody. If somebody says, "Hey, we should get together sometime," if you don't want to meet with them anytime soon, say, "Yeah, we totally should. Let me know whenever, let's get together. Shoot me an email." You will not meet with them. If you don't want to meet with them, just do that. That's what normally happens. But if you do want to meet with them, if they say, "Hey, we should get together," say, "Yeah, we should. In fact, let me pull out my calendar." You got your calendar on you, right? They will pull out their phone. 9 out of 10 times, they will pull out their phone and they'll say, "Yeah, absolutely," and book it. Just book it. Don't talk about booking it. Book it if you want to meet them. Also, if there's someone that you don't really know, but you want to meet with them, maybe they do something for a living. Maybe they're let's just say a CPA. Lots of people like to meet with CPAs. So let's say there's a CPA at a networking event. Here's what I'll do. I'm meeting them for the first time. They say, "I'm a CPA." I say, "Oh man, that's awesome." Then I'll say, "I think I'm actually talking to your ideal buyers on a regular basis." It's true. I talk to business owners. So whoever it is that talks to your ideal buyer, if you talk to business owners and you talk to someone else who also works with business owners, there you go. You're maybe talking to their ideal buyer. So simply tell the person you want to meet with, say, "Hey, I think I'm talking to your ideal buyers on a regular basis, but I don't know really. Would it be all right if we scheduled a time so I could learn about you and your ideal buyers and learn how I could refer you and help you?" What are they going to say? Anyone who's networking is looking for something. That's the only reason people network, because they're looking for something. And most of them are looking for buyers. So if you tell someone, "Hey, I might be talking to your ideal buyer. Can we have a conversation so I can learn if I am actually talking to your ideal buyer?" They will say yes. You can pretty much guarantee a meeting with anyone you want just with that. Now, make sure when you meet with them, you focus on learning who their ideal buyer is so you can deliver on that. Now your reputation is at stake, your credibility is at stake. So deliver on that. And when you book your meeting, make sure you send the calendar invite. They say, yeah, absolutely, I'm good with the meeting. You both have your calendars in your hands, but make sure you send the calendar invite. That way they can't say, oh, I forgot, or it didn't go through, or didn't go in, or whatever. Also, if they're going to cancel and they forget to tell you or something, it's your invite. You will know. So send the calendar invite and just ask them what their email address is. Practice that. Practice sending calendar invites from your phone. All right. Then when you make the calendar invite, make sure you meet at a coffee shop. Now, Catherine and I, we did not meet at a coffee shop. We couldn't really do that very easily. So there are
Because we're
situations.
across the country.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're doing in-person networking and they're local and you're local to your area, then do not meet at their office. Do not meet at a restaurant. There are reasons. I'm not going to go into it right now. Don't meet at their office. Do not meet at a restaurant. Do meet at a coffee shop. All right. So those are some tips that I give when it comes to meeting. Now, moving into connecting, the last part. The last part is when you're going to connect with someone, there are certain things you can, could, should do that will increase the likelihood of it being an awesome first-time meeting. So here's one thing. Where you sit matters. Catherine, I think this is one of the ones I shared with you during our first conversation. Where do you have your back? Where does your back face? Most people don't think about it, but they should. Your objective is to provide the other person extreme value during your first time meeting. And if they're distracted nonstop, then you're not going to provide them extreme value. So make sure that whatever's behind you is absolutely as boring as all get out. Just think a brick wall. Have the wall behind you, as long as there's not a, like a TV with the hamster running on hamster wheels and people snowboarding, right? But if there's just a wall, have the wall behind you, and then they're not going to be distracted by the baristas, by people coming in, by someone they might know. That's how you can increase engagement 100% of the time automatically. Make them face you and the wall behind you. All right. Then order the other person's drink. This is a date. It's a first-time date. So you order their drink. You're looking at $4 or $5, something like that. And it's a tax write-off. So order their drink. Now, how do you do it? You do it by going in the line with them, and you go in front of them. Don't let them go in front of you. You go in front of them. You order your drink, and then you say, and whatever they would like, to the barista. Then they'll order their drink. It's about 8 out of 10 times it'll work. And the other 2 times, they'll say, no, don't worry, I got it. And you just say, no, I can get it too. I got it. You're good. And if they don't like coffee, get tea. If they don't like tea, get water, unless they really don't want anything. So then there you go. So make sure you buy their drink, because it sets the stage right out the gate that you care about them. You care about them. You're taking the time to give them some value. So do that. But here's a huge critical thing. When it comes to that first time conversation, you can chit chat about whatever as much as you want until you get your drink. Once you get your drinks and you sit down, there's this concept of one person will control the conversation and one person will dominate the conversation. Which one should you be? I'm going to tell you. You do not want to dominate the conversation. That's the person who does all the talking. If you're talking, you're not learning. If you're not learning, you're not discovering how to provide extreme value. So don't dominate, control. How do you control? What is controlling? That means you ask the questions. And if you're controlling the conversations, then you can control which questions are asked so that you can lead the conversation in a way that will guarantee that you can provide extreme value. So control the conversation. But how do you control the conversation? You must be the first person to ask a substantive question. You grab your drink, and as your butt is going down to that chair, you are saying, I am so glad we finally got to have this conversation. I don't know nearly as much about you as I would like, so tell me. And then ask a question. And then ask another, and another, and another, and another, and just keep asking questions. And do not talk about yourself. Now, this is very counterintuitive. Most people would say, halfway through, you need to start talking about yourself. Don't do it. Don't talk about you. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about you providing them extreme value. So by halfway through, when they say, enough about me, tell me about you. Here's what you do. So that you don't talk about yourself. Here's what you do. You say, Man, thank you so much for asking. But actually, I have another question. Do you mind if I ask you another question first? You're gonna say, yeah, no, 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 go ahead, go ahead. And then you'll ask them your other question, and you'll keep asking them questions and writing down notes in person so they can see you, that you care enough about what they're saying to actually write down the notes. And then when you do that, it's going to tell them that they care. But it's also going to give you the information you need so that you can really, really provide them extreme value before you leave that meeting. And what will happen is they'll leave the meeting saying, good night. That was the most valuable, crazy, amazing one-to-one meeting I've ever had. And they're going to think, one, what's wrong with that person? Because that was amazing. It was so good. But two, what can I do for them? And now what happens is, instead of it being transactional, I have to talk about me and they have to talk about them, they actually care to know about me, which means they're ready to know about me. And so have that mindset, but before they leave, give them 3 referrals. Give them 3 referrals. Do not leave the meeting without giving them 3 referrals, because that ends up putting them into a follow-up sequence, so that if they are ready for you, you'll know it and they'll know it. And if they're not ready for you, you'll know it, and it won't matter for them. They won't care. So Catherine, these are some of the tips, and I could keep going, but I know it's 2:30
Right.
my time. So
So, who's getting value? Like, we've got to give Josh some love. You guys give him some love in the chat. Like, this is like hands down extraordinary. And I hope you're getting like how he literally stopped me in my tracks and was like, who is this? Like, I'm loving this conversation. And we did it a different way, but like, really, it's been amazing. The power of this is just sharing, with all of you. Like, the power of networking is that it's about building trust, and inside of building the trust, like and for all of you who haven't heard yet, we have a $50 million fund that's helping 33,000 veterans and first responders. And we had scheduled it out thinking it was going to take 18 to 24 months to raise that full 50 million. Well, in 8 months, we're done. The 50 million's raised in 8 months, but it becomes because of those relationships and the extreme value. You all know I'm a super connector, and now you all know Josh. So seriously, you guys, you're going to want to connect with him just to have a conversation and practice this. But I promise you, like, every conversation, Josh, you and I have, it just keeps going and going and going, which is amazing. So it really is all about the relationships. But again, coming back to the energy, like, I love what you just said. It's the caring about them, right? And then from the caring, like, it we teach people how to treat us, right? And inside of you caring for them, you're teaching them how to treat you as well. But there's something really beautiful about that, about, really caring for each other. And like, that's what it's really about. Again, long-term relationships. And it's like, I try to teach my kids, like, look, especially as adults, you want to take care of everybody you have come in contact with, because you never ever know when that person's going to pop up back in your life. Even if it's 10 years later, people won't remember what you said or what you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. And that absolutely matters. So, this is really interesting. And here's the other thing I love about this, Josh, and this is where you and I really aligned. It's about impact and legacy, like making that difference and being really clear, like, um again, how do you be a contribution to somebody? Like, that, I love what you said about the make sure that you're giving them 3 referrals before you leave. Like, how beautiful is that? Like, I'm just going to contribute in this way, and who knows what's going to come from it. Like, it's, oh my gosh, I mean, incredible. And think about if networking really was done that intentionally and that powerfully. I love that. So, you guys, what we're going to do is, Josh actually has a class that he's doing. It's a deep dive into this. And we're going to talk more about this on Thursday. So we're going to do a Q&A on Thursday so that all of you can come back and like ask Josh questions about all of this, which I'm hoping this was as powerful for all of you as it was for me. So Josh, John says here, taking notes on my computer, it's on fire. Which is so awesome. Elizabeth has loved it. Tristan, like, thank you guys for being here. These are all like powerhouses, by the way. So, you guys, I really want you to connect with Josh, but come back on Thursday. Josh, really quick, I'd love for you, and you guys, we're not here to sell anything. That's not the point of this. Like, I just want to provide value. And I believe to the core of my being, a huge amount of value is this course that he's doing on networking. Like, I've never seen anything like this. So, do you want to just talk about this really quick and then we'll complete the.
I would love to. So you and I, the 2 conversations ago that we had, Catherine, I was asking you about the new thing that I'm launching. And the new thing that I'm launching, so what I've been doing is, it's been a year now. I had people ask me, Josh, how do you do networking? It's really weird and amazing and valuable. Can you train me or my people on how to do it? Salespeople. And the answer was no. And the reason it was no is because it was years and thousands of meetings of muscle memory, and I didn't know how to train them on how to do it. So then I spent a year figuring out, okay, how would I train someone? And a year ago, I launched my first in-person training. And so I do cohorts, cohort after cohort after cohort, training people on the techniques that I've used and the mindset that I have on how to do that to be impactful, to Catherine's point. And so the struggle that I had, that I found, was that having a cohort with a certain number of people to be in it can be challenging with schedules. And so what I decided to do was to actually take everything that I've been training and then make it available in a kind of a subscription model, but not with just with bite size. So every 10 days, a 20 to 30-minute lesson, and everyone in sequential order. So someone can absorb the information, apply the information, come back 10 days later and rinse and repeat to really build upon the foundation of being a fantastic networker. But it's not just the networking. So I took my business training, I took my relationship training, which is networking, then I took my software, and then I took my process for connecting people, and I lumped it all together into a single offering that is the same price as just the networking training itself. So I lumped it all together to make it accessible, because really, again, to the impact point, every entrepreneur, even if they're making $10,000 a year just getting started, they should have access to this. And so by doing this model, I've made it so that I can really, really, really empower a lot of people. And on Thursday, Catherine, Thursday, that's 2 days from now, that's when we have the Q&A. Thursday is the day that this is launching. This thing that I've been looking at is launching on Thursday. So anyone who's interested in learning how to be better at networking, just take my full-blown program.
Okay, hold on. Not better. Like, you guys, this is freaking extraordinary. This is not better. This is like out of the stratosphere. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
So, keep going, Josh.
decade plus, all pulled together. So it's going to
Right?
work. Yes. But I'm happy because I want to get it out there. What's the point of having extreme value if not extremely tons of people are using it? So I'm
Yeah.
super, super stoked.
Yeah. So this has been amazing. I hope you guys really understand how powerful this is and why I really wanted you to, experience Josh, which I'm really excited about. Josh is going to be coming back onto lots of things, and we're going to be collaborating on the AI stuff and AI and networking. And so him and I got some cool projects we're working on. But come back on Thursday with your questions, and you're going to learn more about all the other things, because he'll drop some more nuggets for you. Again, thank you, Josh. Again, mind blowing. You're extraordinary. I cannot wait for Thursday, and then, of course, for all the other fun things that we're creating. So with that, thank you, everybody. Everybody's thanking you in the messages, Josh. You're a rock
Thank you
star.
so much. I appreciate it. Y'all are
So
awesome.
awesome. Okay, guys, have an extraordinary day, and we will see you Thursday. I love it. Okay, bye, everyone.